Good morning, peoples. I wanted to do a quick video. I had done one, fluffy. I had done one a couple months ago, 3-4 months ago, about immigration, and I told you it was a little bit of a nightmare here in Thailand. Just overly complicated. It really doesn't need to be as complicated as it is. There's something called the TM30, right? And all foreigners, whether you're here on a visa, whatever, have to, every time they change hotels, guest houses, the guest house is responsible. You're not responsible, but the guest house is responsible for going online to a Thai government site. And I actually have it up. I'll show it to you real quick. On the computer. The Thai government, it's all in Thai writing. And check in. Do a TM30 report that says, this passport number from this country, this person has checked in here. And everywhere you go, every time you change hotels, you're supposed to do that. So today is immigration day for me. That's what prompted the video. I've got my lady, Miss Parn, coming up from Chiang Mai. If you've got limited time or just don't want to deal with the frustration that is the immigration situation. I mean, if you're on a very limited budget, and when I mean very, I mean if you're living on, $200 or $300 a month here, which is possible. There are people doing that. Then obviously you're going to go it alone. You're not going to pay anybody to help you with a visa, and you're going to be frustrated. You're going to make a lot of trips to immigration. There's a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of things that are unclear. You go to one immigration office and get an answer, go to another, and it's a different answer. So if you've got more time than money, you will spend some time on immigration here in Thailand. It's a great country. It's a beautiful place. The people are super nice, and the food is cheap, medical's cheap, housing's cheap. But they do not make it super easy to stay here as a foreigner, as an expat or traveler. So my immigration lady, who I paid, because I think I talked about it in the last video, but I'll mention it again briefly. I tried on my own because I'm a cheap bastard. I had the money, but I didn't want to spend it. I'm like, fuck paying somebody to take care of this stuff. I'm going to do it myself. Jersey, Jersey guy in me. And I tried 5 or 6 times, 3 times at the same bank in Bangkok, to open up a bank account in my name. And very simply, that's one of the requirements to get the type of visa that I needed to get. I changed my visa over from, do I have it here? I think I got I do. I have my passport here. I'll show you. When I first came in the country, I made a mistake. Once again, being lazy, which I definitely am. I chose to go to Miami. I lived in Jacksonville, Florida, so I went to the consul, CONSUL, down in Miami, instead of going to the embassy, the Thai embassy, in Washington, D.C. So because of that, I got a tourist visa. That's what this little thing is inside my passport, right? It's a tourist visa. You can see it actually says tourist, right? No bueno. If you want to stay in this country, which I knew I was going to stay from day one, I planned on moving here. This is good for 60 days. Tourist visa, this is. Okay, so let's start at the beginning, just a quick recap. If you have an American passport, and there's like 60 other countries, look it up online, just search countries where you don't need a visa for Thailand. US is one of them. US, Canada, Australia. You just show your passport at immigration in the Thai airport. This is what I did last November when I came for 3 weeks. And you're in for 30 days. I stayed for 21, no problem, no paperwork, no renewal. Now, when I say no paperwork, the TM30 thing I talked about, the guest house I stayed at in Chiang Mai had to report to the government that I was there, right? So this thing, as I said, was the wrong thing. I should have gone to the embassy and gotten what's called a immigrant visa, good for 90 days, and then it's renewable. Video. You want to say hello? Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, no good?
Thai.
Mouth hurts?
Thai.
Chai.
ที่รวมอายุ
I don't think we need the lease. No. It's pardon my chai.
อ๋อ
Yeah, chai. TM30. I'm showing her what we need. TM30. Okay, bear. TM30. Chai. And the latest stamp. The one that shows 16 January. 2 copy.
อันนี้เนาะ
No lease. No. Chai. So, I'm putting all the paperwork together, as I said, because Miss Parn is coming up from Chiang Mai to help me out. She's awesome. And yeah, I paid for it, and it was not fun. But the tourist visa that I got from the consul, not good. 60 days with one renewal, one 30-day renewal. So it's not a 90-day like I thought it was. I was confused. As much reading as I'd done online and studying, I was confused by the visa situation here. There's no real good answers, even at the Thai embassy website. And you really need an expert to help you navigate through this. Unless, like I said, you have no money, then just, educate yourself as best you can. Watch YouTube videos, as many as you can, and learn what you can, and then go down there and start fighting and be persistent and be patient, because you will need those two things. Oh, hello. Well, the camera's facing this way, sweetheart. They can't see. Yeah. Chai. Anyway. So the tourist, no good. Oh, she's getting naked. That's why she cared about the camera. Let's see. Can you see the shower? No, I'm sorry. Sorry. No freebies on this video. So a tourist is not the one to get. That's the 30 days you get from showing your passport. That's not a visa. That's a non-visa entry, right? Good for 30 days, no extensions. You got to leave after 30 days, period, because you just showed your passport, right? You didn't get a visa. I went down to the consulate in Miami, drove down there, and got this tourist visa. It's good for a 2-month, maybe 3-month stay. So if you're on an extended vacation here, medical, where you're getting medical work done or something, you need to be here longer than 30 days, that's when you get the tourist visa. So only get the tourist visa at a consulate if you're planning on going back to your country with, by 90 days. I didn't know that. I screwed up. It cost me a lot of money to fix that. So, irregardless, the right visa, the visa that I needed to get, which I finally got in October, is the non-immigrant visa, the non-O. This is the visa I could have gotten back in February in the U.S. if I had taken the train or the bus or driven up to Washington, D.C. and gone to the Thai embassy. So I hope that clears up a little bit. If you're under 50 years old, this is the visa you get. And now what you heard about on other videos and read probably on blogs or whatever, learned, is it's called the non-O, and that's not important. Just remember, it's a 90-day visa. And this is the one where you do border runs. This is the pain in the ass. If you're not 50 years old and or you're over 50 and don't have 25, 30 grand to park in a bank in Thailand for extended periods of time, 3 months minimum, then this is the visa for you. So if you're over 50 and you don't have a wad of cash to park in a bank that you don't need to live on, or income, that's the other way to get the retirement visa. I'll talk about it in a second. Is if you have, I think it's 2,600. I don't remember the exact U.S. number, but you can just use a calculator converter thing. It's 65,000 baht a month. So I think that's roughly $2,400, $2,600, somewhere around there. So if you've got income of 65,000 baht a month, Social Security or stocks or whatever, you're over 50, you're good. If you have 30 grand less, it's 800,000 baht, not a million. So 26 grand, whatever the conversion rate works out to today, to park in a bank, and you're over 50, you're good. If not, this is the visa that you wind up with. So people under 50 and people over 50 without either the 65,000 baht a month or the 800,000 baht, they can park and leave for, like I said, period of time, 3 months. So after a little finagling, I managed to get this one. This is what I needed. So what's interesting is my tourist visa, the first one I showed you, actually expired May 27th, right? So it's only good for 60 days. So March, April, May, 90 days. They gave me the extension in there without me having gone down to do it, which is weird. But because of COVID, the country, all the expats, not just me, were under an amnesty, where they said, because of COVID, we don't want you showing up at immigration and standing close together in line and infecting our immigration people. So stay home, you dirty Farang, and Farang being foreigner, and we'll just give you an extension for free. Now that's very unusual. The Thai government, like most governments, love money. They worship money. They wake up, they think about money. All day long at work, they think, how can I get money? Money, money, money. That's driven. It's more important to them than family, more important than food, happiness, money. They're very, very focused on that, the government and the immigration people. It's not how can I help you, it's how can I make money, right? I mean, they're poor, most of them, so I get it, but it's annoying. So with the amnesty, they did something very, normally it's 1900 baht. I've talked about 1,000 baht note before, 30 bucks roughly, because it's 31 baht per dollar. So two of those, 2,000 baht, you get 100 baht change. So almost 60 bucks to renew. And you have to renew every 90 days. Remember the border one I talked about? That's a renewal. You leave the country, you stay out for, I think it's a day, you do an overnight, and most people do it in Myanmar, right across the border, what used to be called Burma, or they go to Vietnam or Laos, just Malaysia, just a neighboring country. And on the 90th day or the 89th day, whatever, they leave the country, stay overnight in a hotel, come back the next day and get a new 90-day visa. That non-immigrant unlike the tourist visa I came in on, is extendable forever. There's people who've been living here 15 years on that visa. It's fine. You don't need the retirement visa. And that's, like I said, people under 50 and people over 50 who don't have either income or a large chunk of cash. That's what they do. One of the reasons my lady's coming up from Chiang Mai today, and we got all this paperwork, the TM30, 2 copies of my passport with the stamp pages. I got to go get pictures again. I wish she's a great lady. She's helped me a lot. I'm very grateful. But even this is a little bit of a pain in the ass, because the first time she came up, she said, go to the little passport photo store and get 2 4mm by 6mm little tiny passport photos of yourself. I'm like, okay. So I went and I got 2. And she came back like a month later, because remember, we converted. First thing she did was like get my thing up to date with the amnesty. And there was no money charge. I think I told you that. I'm not sure if my mind wanders. I'm sorry. The 1900, which is so important to the Thai government, they didn't collect for the amnesty. They did 2 or 3 extensions for all the expats in the country. So technically I was illegal because I expired May 27th, but nobody was throwing me or anybody else out of the country because of COVID and all the amnesty and free extensions we all got. No 1900 baht. Very unusual for the Thai people, the Thai government. Very unusual. But hey, it's COVID, so they had to look like they had a heart. So finally in October, she came back up and she's like, okay, I'm going to need, copies of your passport, copies of your bank statement showing the 800,000. It's still there. I haven't touched it, right? And make a $100 deposit, 100 baht deposit. I keep saying dollar. I'm still not on baht time yet. Well, it's only been 8 months. So put 100 baht in the bank. I'm like, put 100 baht in the bank? And then, yeah, just to show activity that day and a reason to get a statement from the bank. And you pay 200. I laughed when the lady told me it's like 200 baht or whatever. It's like $6 or $9 or whatever the hell they charge. I'll know today because I'm going to go do it again to give you a statement. The bank charge, I mean, they're just money. They're so focused on money. And it's the scarcity mindset. I've talked in other Great White Buddha videos about abundance and scarcity. And they just, when you don't have something, you tend to focus on it, and that's all you care about and all you think about all day. So Bank of Bangkok, which has shit tons of money, all the CEOs are worth billions and billions of baht, if not billions of dollars. you know, they are nailing you for 200 or 300 baht to get a statement, a piece of paper. You know, it's the mindset. It's never enough money. It's like a Coke. You know, he's just going to keep snorting Coke. They're addicted to money. You know, the government, the business people, the people, the Thai people, they're addicted to money. So, get the bank statement, and then she goes and get 2 pictures, 2 4x6 pictures. I'm like, I had 2x4. Every time you go to do something, apparently, you need to get the stupid pictures. So I got 4 or 6, and I gave the 4 of them to my girlfriend. I said, here, take care of it. We're going to need these again. She's better at keeping track of shit than I am. Like, she was just showing me the lease, asking if we need the lease, because I had to show the lease. The lady came upstairs, Miss Parn, the visa lady came upstairs and took pictures of me sitting at the table, downstairs, a restaurant. Like, I had to prove with pictures that I physically live here, because you need a registered address in addition to the 800,000 baht in the bank. So it's a pain in the ass. Even with help, it's a pain in the ass. The picture. So she doesn't have the picture. She lost them somehow, some way. I don't know. I would have lost them. I know that. That's why I gave them to her. So we're going to go take pictures again today. We're going to go see the guy for the 3rd, 4th time and take the little 2. This time I'm going to get 12. Screw it. I'll spend 200 baht instead of 100 baht, you know, $6 instead of 3, whatever it is. And I'll just get 12 of the cigarettes, and I'll stick them like right here on the table and just tell her, don't move them, just, you know, because now I know there's going to be a next time and I'm going to need the stupid pictures again. I just would think it was a one-time thing. She didn't tell me any different, my visa lady. So now I know it's like a thing. Every time you got to do pictures, and every time you got to do a bank statement, and every time you got to do stamps, copies, 2 copies of your passport page with stamps. Yeah. The reason I did the retirement visa, A, I'm over 50, yay. That's the only reason to be happy about that. B, I'm in a good enough place, I'm fortunate, blessed, whatever you want to call it. I've worked my balls off, don't forget that. To be able to park the 25, 26K in the bank and not touch it for 3 months, 5 months. It's like 2 months before, 3 months after, 3 months. Yeah, anyway, it's there and I don't need it today, so I'm good. And now, once this is all straightened out, hopefully this is the last time the poor lady has to take the bus, the 3-hour bus ride up the 762 curves that makes people sick to their stomach, up to see me here, because she has to do everything in the Mae Hong Song, which is the province that Pai is in, office. It's like a state. You got to do everything in the state of Florida. If you're in Jacksonville, you got to go to Tallahassee. Tallahassee, I was going to say Gainesville, Tallahassee, to get government stuff done, state level. And if you just cross the border into Georgia, a half-hour away in St. Mary's, well, anything government, you got to go to Capital, Albany, Georgia, I think it is. So that's the same here. She's got to go to immigration in this province, as opposed to Chiang Mai. Poor lady got to come up that 3-hour bus ride. She'll be here at 12:30. It's 11:20. I got to get hopping. But I just wanted to make a video about the visa thing. I talked about it before. It sucks. It's a challenge. It's time consuming. It's a pain in the ass. But ultimately, 500,000 people from other countries plus, that's a low number. It's more than 500,000, I'm sure, choose to live here. That's how great a country it is. That's how nice the people are. That's how great the food is. That's how beautiful the scenery is here. If it wasn't better than the country that you came from, they all, including me, wouldn't be here, right? I have found in my 8 months here that it's easier for me to make money in Jacksonville, Florida. I don't want to say I'd make it at will, but it was much faster, simpler, easier for me to get things done and to move mountains with my network I had built up there, and just, you know, I could do things. I could move here. You know, I haven't generated 1 baht of income since I've been here. That's weird. That's very strange for me, because, you know, I wouldn't be here unless I was able to generate dollars back in Florida. So that there is that. So that's the immigration thing. So the reason that I'm going through all this, the reason I'm parking the money over there and all that, is it's once you get all this done, you're good for a year. Now, every 90 days, I have to go to Mae Hong Son Immigration, which is 5 minutes away, thank God, and get a stamp, right? They won't leave you alone. They won't just leave you alone for a year, no matter how much money you pay them, or how much money you have in the bank. It doesn't matter. You still got to go every 90 days and say, I'm here. Nothing's changed. I'm living in the same place. It's onerous, it's tedious. I wish it would change. I wish they'd make it easier. But I don't have to do paperwork and pay the 1900 baht, the almighty 1900 baht that they can't live without, for a year. That's the whole point to go for the retirement visa, is you don't need to go down and get the stamps and pay the renewal fee and do the application basically to stay in the country. Every 90 days, but the one I have now, you're asking to stay in the country, which is weird, right? And you've got to leave the country to do that. With the 1 year, you don't need to make the border run. You don't have to go to Vietnam or Cambodia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar. You're good. You can just stay here. Just like I said, every 90 days, go to immigration, which is not going to the border. And every year, you pay them their 1900 baht blood money. So, speaking of the 1900 baht, I've thought about this a lot lately. The value of money here. So, this is 1,000 baht note, okay? This is the one that when I came here, I thought of as a $20 US bill, because in the US I would have 100 maybe, but more commonly 20s, and I would go out to lunch and it would be $7 or $10 or $12 or whatever lunch was, two people, you know, depended, but usually I'd find myself whipping out a $20 bill, giving it to the cashier, and getting change back, you know, 10, 5, singles, quarters, dimes, nickels, pennies, right? So when I got here, you know, you go to the ATM and you take out 30,000 baht, which is the max the machine will give you. And like I said, that's roughly $1,000 US, because it's 30 to 31. Hell, at one point it was 33 baht to a dollar back in March, but it hasn't been that in a while. It fluctuates between 30, 30.5, 31 baht to a dollar. So it's roughly $1,000 US for 30 of these bad boys, right? 1,000 baht notes. And that's what I would do, is I'd stop to eat something and it would be, you know, 400 baht, and I give them a 1,000 baht note and get 600 baht back. So I thought of it as a 20, and you break the 20 and you see the different colors. That was kind of a tannish. That's the easy, besides the 1,000 written in big letters in English, thank God, instead of all script. The 500 is kind of purplish. The 100 is kind of pinkish, right? So you break your 1,000 for, you spend, you know, like I said, just say $400 for dinner for two people. That's kind of high, but whatever. It's, you know, it is what it is. So you're going to get 600 change, right? A 500 and a 100. And then, you know, later on you'd break the 500 for something, because there's lots of stuff that costs less than 500 baht. And when you break the 500, then you get, you know, say you spent 150 and you give them that 500 baht note. So you get 300 back, three of these pink boys, and a 50, right? Here's a 50, it's blue, right? 50 baht note. And remember, this is a little bit less than $2, because it's roughly 30 baht to a dollar. And the, you know, the 100 baht is about $3, right? It's about $3. We're talking about for a 100 baht note. So then you spend 100 baht, and it might be, you know, 80 baht for what you're buying. So you get a 20 back. That's the 20, green. Okay? So in your pocket, after a while, you'll have some 1,000 baht notes. You'll have some, maybe a 500. It depends if you bought something relatively cheap. You'll have lots of hundreds. You always have hundreds. These $3, $100 baht notes are the main, you know. Think of those like 5s and 10s back in America. And then you'll have a couple, you know, you might have a 50. The 50s and the 500s you don't get all the time, but you do get them sometimes. It depends on what you're buying. But mostly you'll deal with 100 baht notes and 20 baht notes. Those are like the main change you'll get back from breaking your 1,000, right? So then you got the coins, and those are totally, you know, once again, I've been here since March, and I am not a coin expert by any means. The three that were in my pocket, I happen to know, and the reason is this is a 10 baht coin. So you got your 20 baht bill, now you got a 10 baht coin. And remember, that would be about 30 cents, right? Because it's a third, 30 baht to a dollar, 10 baht, so about 33 cents. And the reason I know it, as opposed to, here's a 5 baht coin, you see how the center has the gold in it, the little gold or brass insert, and no other coin has that. And it's a little bit bigger, just a little bit bigger than the 5 baht, not much bigger, but a little bit. So yeah, 5 baht, 10 baht. And then my favorite, and the only reason I have these is I weigh myself on a digital scale outside Tesco, Lotus, the supermarket, and it's 1 baht. So this little guy is 1 baht. A little tiny small guy, much smaller than the 5 baht, as you can see. Kind of like a dime and a quarter. But 5 baht, 1 baht. Now remember, 1 baht would be 3 cents. 30 baht for a dollar, 31 baht for a dollar, so 3 cents roughly for this thing. What can you buy for 3 cents? A ride on the digital scale at Tesco Lotus. That's the only reason I give the rest of the change I get. And normally I'd give that 5 baht to my girlfriend. So now in third, yeah, once again, when you go to the ATM, when I go to the ATM, they charge you 220 baht. Once again, they're very focused on money. Money might not be a big thing to you if you've reached any level of success. In the States, you don't focus on money, you don't obsess with money. You know, you've got the abundance mindset, which is why you have money, because you've got the abundance mindset. Get used to that not being true here. There's always that scarcity mindset. So your bank will charge you 220 baht, $7, $8, to take money out in the ATM. It's crazy. So you might as well take out the max. Some banks, some ATMs, it's 25,000. Some it's 30,000. So I pull out 30,000 baht at a time. If I'm going to pay 220 baht to pull it out, you might as well pull out the max, right? Even if you don't need it. And then I just stick it in my pocket and I have it. When I need it, I need it. You know what I mean? I might only go to the ATM once a month. It depends on what I'm buying or what I'm spending, what's going on, and buy stuff for the shop, whatever. But you know, take out, if you're going to get charged per transaction, why take out 10,000 baht and then go a week later and take out 10,000 baht? Now you paid 440 baht for what? To take your own money out of the ATM? So I take out the max. And once again, that's what I'll do. I'll take that 1,000 baht, break it, and I showed you all the change and the breakdown. So the value of money. This is kind of the point of the money thing. I wanted to show you what the money looked like, felt like, but the mentality was my main point. When I got here, I thought of it like a $20 bill. Now I knew it was 30 baht or time 33 baht to a dollar, but I thought of it like a 20. As you spend a 20 and what you buy with it in America, to me, you go to lunch, you break out a 20. You go to lunch, you break out 1,000 here, right? Sometimes. Like, there are places to eat for 30, 40 baht. So you break out 100. A lot of times, the two of us go and I break out 100 baht. That's why Thailand's so great. But that was my mentality. Now I've been here 8 months. 1,000 baht to me now, what I realize, is more like $100, not 20. And once again, the exchange rate hasn't changed. It's 30, 31 to a dollar. The exchange rate, the actual value of the money has not changed. My perception of what that 1,000 baht note is worth has changed. So when I got here, I perceived it as worth $20 US. It was actually worth 30, 33. Now it's still worth 31. It hasn't changed in value that much. It's gone down $2 per baht, but for 1,000. But I see what I can buy with that. As I said, the reality is now when I go to lunch and buy chicken and rice for her at 35 baht and pork bowl, big giant bowl of hearty brown broth with pork bones and pork balls and pork tenderloin in it, 40 baht, is 75 baht. So I break out the pinky, right? I give it the 100 baht note, three bucks. And that covers lunch for the two, and I get 25 baht change, right? The 5 baht coin and the 20, the green bill, right? So think about that. In America, I would break a $20 bill for lunch, especially for 2 people. If me and my buddy Rob went out, I'd cover lunch a lot. Sometimes he'd pay for his own, of course. We weren't dating, although we're very close. But for two people, Mexican food, right? It's going to be 15, 20 bucks. You break out the 20, you get maybe $5 change. Here, I break out the 100 baht bill, not the 20, and I get change. So I could take my girlfriend to lunch 10 times, right? And it would be the same as, perception-wise, as going out to lunch in America once, or maybe 1.5 times. Crazy stuff. So, bottle of water. I always talk about water. This Monster, which I drink tons of, big part of how I've lost all the weight, is 9 baht. 9 baht in the store. Less than 30 cents for 1.5 liters of bottled water. I remember buying small bottles of water, 12, 16 ounces, at convenience stores in America for $1.50, $2 a bottle. If they charged 600 baht, $2. No, what am I saying? Yeah, if they charged $2 would be, I'm sorry, oh my God. 66 baht. Yeah, I was doing the math way incorrectly for a second there. But yeah, 100 baht's $3. So if they charged 66 baht, but nobody would drink it. Nobody would drink the damn thing. And I paid $2, 66 baht, many times in America for a small bottle of water. Like I said, maybe a pint, maybe a liter. Mountain Dew, $2.50 for a Mountain Dew. Just way different. So knowing that 1.5 liters of water is 9 or 10 baht here, that all of a sudden makes you understand the 1,000 baht a lot more. 2 people having lunch for 75 baht. 2 people having dinner for 135 baht at that place I told you about. It's 20 baht a plate. We had 5 plates of food, rice, which I think was 10 baht, a water, small water for me, and a Coke for her, which is we sell for 25 baht. I'm not sure what that place sells it for. So Coke, water, rice, and 5 small plates of food, 135 baht for 2 people. Dinner, $4. So once again, that's 1,000 baht now isn't like 20 bucks. It's not one meal for 2 people, one lunch for 2 people. Good luck feeding 2 people for dinner for 20 bucks, right? In America. But it becomes 8 meals, right? 135 baht, 8 roughly, for 2 people, dinner. So that your perception of what it is changed. And like I said, I've thought about it, and I've come out to $100. To me, 1,000 baht spends like $100 does back in the States, especially when you're buying Thai things. Where it doesn't apply, where it's more like American prices, is when you buy Western food, either at restaurants, because when we go to that Japanese place I love with the seared sushi down in Chiang Mai, I spend 20 bucks. I drop 20 bucks on the 2 of us. That's the only place I do that at, is when I have really high quality Farang food. And yes, Farang does include Japan. It means foreigner. It doesn't mean, American or Caucasian. Even other Asians are still Farang because they're not from Thailand. You're either from Thailand and you're a native, or you're Farang, right? Which I thought was interesting too. So a lot of people have a misconception that Farang are, Europeans and Americans only. That's not true. It's anybody who's not native to Thailand is a Farang, and remember they say their R as L. So if you hear a Thai person say that, it'll come out as Phalang. Phalang. It's Farang. Just like delicious is Aroy but you'll hear them say Aloy, Aloy, Aloy Mak, Aloy, because they changed the R to an L, just pronunciation-wise. So that's it. Visa's a pain in the ass. Hire a gun if you can afford to do it. Go with the 1-year retirement one if you can. I'll do another one on other visas because there are other ones out there. Obviously, I don't know as much about them because I'm not doing them. But there are other 1-year visas out there and business things. There's something new called the Elite Visa, where the Thai government, who really aren't interested in your money at all, but just, to help you out, you pay them 500,000 baht. I just told you what 1,000 baht is worth here. Well, you give them 500,000 baht, and they will just expedite everything, and you won't have all this. Remember I said I wish it would be easier? It's easier if you have this Elite Visa, E-L-I-T-E, Elite Visa, and that costs money. So I put 800,000 baht in the bank. That's my money. And after the waiting period, 3 months, 90 days, I'll have use of that money. I can take it out and use it. But then it has to go back in before my 1-year renewal. And it has to be in, I believe, for 3 months, seasoned, right? Seasoned money. So, pain in the ass, but at least it's my money. Here, with the 500,000 Elite Visa, it buys you 5 years of extensions instead of 1,900 baht. So instead of 10,000 baht, you're giving them 500,000 baht, but you're giving them that money. That is not put into the bank in your name and you get it after 3 months. You are giving the Thai government 500,000 baht. Now, once again, that in US, what's that, 15 grand, right? So if you're a player, if you're moving over here and you've got $1 million or you got 250,000 in the bank, oh, what the fuck? I'll pay 15 grand to smooth things over and not, deal with it. But if you've lived here any point of time, you'd realize, you can buy a really nice car, like a Toyota Hilux truck, like newer, like maybe a year, 2 years old, for 500,000. Like all brand new fucking truck, beautiful leather interior, all maxed out. Car, you can get for 500,000. You can buy land. You could buy a half an acre, 0.4 of an acre, a rai, they call it, R-A-I, for 500,000 baht. You can buy a business, a big, I paid 400,000 baht for this place. Now, that's not working out so well because of COVID, but this thing eventually will recover and throw off money for 400,000 baht. But you should give the Thai government 500,000 baht for the privilege of staying in their country 5 years. Or 10 years for 1 million baht, or 20 years for 2 million baht. So 2 million baht, now you're talking about $60,000, but you can stay here hassle-free for 20 years. I guess if you have the money and you don't mind paying it. Technically I could do that, but why would I? Why would I ever pay the government 2 million baht to stay here? I don't like paying them 1,900 baht every 90 days or whatever the hell it is, or every year once I get that one. So, yeah, it's out there. So I'll talk about other visas later. That's what's going on today. My lady comes in about a little bit less than an hour, so I got to run, get my pictures, make my deposit, get my bank statement. So whatever, it's infinitely easier with her. She's worth every penny I paid her. I love her to death. She's a great lady, but just want you to know it's still a pain in the ass. This is one part of Thailand you will not enjoy living here as an expat, is the whole visa process. The money, not if you're rich, but if you have enough money to cover it, I would pay. So there you go, prices. I got to give prices on this stuff. Assistance from a lady like this will cost you 10 to 15,000 baht. So you're talking about $300 to $500, right? Is what it's going to cost you to get a helper lady. And there's big Star Visa. There's a lot of companies. Assist, Thai Visa. There's a bunch of places that advertise because they want your 10,000 baht. Remember, they're money focused. You just got to think that way when you deal with the Thai government and Thai business people, right? They're smiling, they're friendly, they're lovely, but they're focused on the money. because they don't have a lot of it. So they have that scarcity mentality. Once you understand that, it's easier to do things here and get along. But yeah, it'll cost you 10 to 15 grand. Plan on that. 10 to 15 thousand baht, 3 to 500 US, not 15,000 into the elite visa to get help, a local help. And my particular lady used to work in the immigration office in Bangkok. That's helped tremendously. So if you can get that hookup, get somebody, like if you're fighting taxes, you want an ex-IRS employee. Nobody understands the IRS like people used to work for them. That's the route I went with this lady. So I've been very lucky that I found her. I found her through another expat, a friend, referral network, get to know people, and they can help you answer questions like, who should I talk to about my visa? And she's been a godsend. As painful as the rectal exam has been, she was the lube, right? She has made it easier. It still sucks, but it's easier with her. So, okay, that's it, guys. Like I said, I actually got to run and do all this crap. And I will talk to you later, but the two takeaways are the things you've learned about the visa process and the money. Your perception of what 1,000 baht note is and how it spends will change with time here. Over and out.